Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today, I believe we are on episode 13. Yes, episode 13 of the construction build of the pavilion in the backyard of Villa Feliz. Today's going to be an interesting day. I think you'll find it interesting. There's some key points that you have to be very detailed about what we're doing today to make sure that your roof completes correctly at the end of your project. We don't want any one of these like waves on our rooftop of our pavilion. Anyway, let's go ahead and get today started. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Now, if you remember, the last episode focused on the wall plates on the side and the tie beam in the front. And I got the rest of the hardware installed. There's actually a lot of hardware to make sure that this is nice and secure, because you only saw this one right here and I believe this connection right here. But since then, there are many other connections, even on the inside. Let's see, these diagonal supports right here. I'm not sure if we talked about those, but there are a lot of connections going on here to make sure that this roof and this pavilion is strong to withstand the high winds of something like a typhoon that is very normal for here in the Philippines. Now, the sky is pretty threatening right now. We have a lot of what looks like rain clouds, and I'm sure we're going to get rain today, but I'm going to try to take advantage as much as possible to go to the next step. And the next step is to do the support for the roof. And that involves putting up the king posts. We are going to put up the two king posts, one on here and one on the back side straight up there. And let's go down in the basement. I'll kind of show you what we're looking at for the king post. Now, before we actually get down inside the basement, I want to show you this right here. This is the, well, try to guess what that is. It's pretty long. And I guess if you've been following the series, you pretty much know the only long piece that we have left is the ridge beam, which is the very top of the roof. That's what the rafters are going to connect to. Well, let's go ahead. This was very detailed. I spent almost 3 days working on this. Let me show you what it looks like. Now, I am not going to open the whole ridge beam right here. I'm just going to show you what I worked on. So this is the ridge beam right here, and the ridge beam is going to connect all the rafters. The rafters are going to connect here, but what is so detailed about your ridge beam that takes so much time is doing things like your bevel. You see this? This is a 34-degree bevel right here that's necessary to get an 8/12 pitch roof. And so the rafters, and I think I have a little template over here. Let me show you. All right, well, it's up underneath here. I can already feel the rain coming. You can see the rain. I got to get this closed real quick. So anyway, this is my template. So the way the template will work, you'll see this will be what the roof actually sits on. So you see it's the exact angle of the bevel. Well, let me go ahead and cover this up. So all that work I did over the last 3 days isn't in jeopardy, because the rain will actually soak into the wood, and we don't want it to do that. So let's go ahead and cover that up. Anyway, so this is what I wanted to show you. I've been working on the last couple of days as well, along with the ridge beam. This is going to be the nice gable support. This is the king post, and these two posts over here on this side, these are the diagonal braces, similar to what you see right here in our little model. This is what we're looking at. King post and the web braces here on the side, the diagonal web braces. So what I've done this morning, I pre-fitted them to make sure that we have 90 degrees from here to what will be the tie beam out there. Right now, this is a rafter. I'm using it as a template or something to stabilize the king post. So that's done. And you're probably wondering, James, why isn't it finished on the top and on the right side and on the left side over here for those web braces? Well, because sometimes there are variations in the depth of the wood. Maybe there's a little bit of warp. And what we want to do, we want to fit this as tight as possible. So if you're doing a project like this, I recommend anything that might butt up to another piece of wood that could possibly be not exact, because, you know, nature doesn't provide us with exactness. We try to do as well as we possibly can with what we have with our tools. Not always is it perfect. So we are going to do the final cut on these two when we put our rafter. Our rafter will go from the end and it will go up there to the very peak of the king post. So that's what we'll do later. We'll cut those later. And they're marked front left and front right, because even these, I want to make sure, since I've already pre-drilled them, so that we have a 34 and a 56 degree angle that we have here. We want to make sure that everything is set up properly. That's one lazy dog. He's taking his siesta, his after lunch siesta. Let's go look over what I did when the rain stopped. All right, well, you can see I have the king post and the web braces up. They went in quite easily, look pretty nice. Again, the tips will be cut off after we place the rafters up and do a final measurement to make sure that we have a nice tight fit from the top of the brace to the bottom of the rafter. They came out good. Take a look at the other side. And the next thing to do is the same thing over here. I'll do the same, the web bracing and the king post here. And once I get this up, when we have both of them in place, the next thing we can do the ridge beam, which will be up here in the center soon. All right, well, there you have it. Number 2 is up. Both of the king posts are up. And the next step is really to put the ridge beam on top of that, but it's not finished yet. I have to do some staining. So now you can see the mounting bracket here on the back for the king post and the web braces, as well as the one on the front up there. They look really nice. I really like the Samson strong tie method of connecting all these pieces together. It was a breeze to do this. Even though we had a lot of rain this morning, the afternoon, you can see it's really bright and sunny out here, and it helped with the drying of the selignum for the treatment of the termite protection here. So I think this is ready for staining. Now I'm not going to put you through me putting stain on here. We already went through that in a previous episode. I'm going to get the 2 coats of the stain on here now. We're going to let that dry, which means in a couple of days this will be ready to go up. So now that's it for today's episode. The main object of today was accomplished, and it had to do with getting all those posts in place across the tie beams. That's an important step into the beginning of the roofing of the pavilion. So again, tomorrow I'm going to take tomorrow off. Tomorrow is Sunday. I'm going to relax. I'm going to join some of my favorite friends on some of their YouTube channels. Sometimes I'm invited as a guest on other people's YouTube channel, and it's an honor for me to get on and talk about other things other than pavilions and building and things like that. They have other topics that are really interesting that I like getting involved with, and I thank them again for inviting me. So anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Please share, and if you have not subscribed, click on that little MPID dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. And if you ring that bell, you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. So until such time from right here in the Philippines, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right, and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.